It's a Wednesday, and while the Mexico Grand Prix is ready for us to go on Friday, Saturday and Sunday, it's about time we dipped into the news before the big push for the final build-up to this weekend's Grand Prix. And we're talking the two title-chasing team principals as Toto Wolff fires shots at Christian Horner. Williams are going to be on the back foot for the 2022 season. I mean, no surprise there. And we're looking at sprint races for next year. There's going to be 6 of them. Where are they going to be held? And what is going to be the key factor in determining who hosts them? We will get into all of that in just a moment, but before we go anywhere, hit the subscribe button down below to stay up to date with everything we do here at GPFans. Get on to @GPFans Global as well on Twitter and Instagram. And now, let's get into the headlines. Toto Wolff has said he's amused by any disparaging remarks from Christian Horner, who he feels becomes a little actor in a Hollywood pantomime when put in front of a microphone or TV camera. There has never been any love lost between the Mercedes team principal and his Red Bull counterpart, notably this season, as they have often turned on one another in the heat of the battle for the F1 Drivers and Constructors Championships. Most recently, Horner suggested Wolff was facing a different type of pressure as for the first time in the hybrid era, a rival team is taking Mercedes to the wire in the race for both titles. What Christian says about me feeling pressure, no, not at all. I feel he is one of the protagonists in a pantomime, part of the Formula One cast, and for me as a stakeholder, as a team owner, it's great that he creates these kind of stories, said Toto Wolff. But it's irrelevant. People have a microphone in front of them or a camera on them, and they start to behave like little actors, like Hollywood. It's very good they fill the blanks and make it a pantomime. That's good for the sport and good for Netflix because they want to portray the people, not just the stopwatch. People have realised they are being quoted if they say controversial things. It gives them media time. It gets their picture in the newspapers. Interesting that Toto is just getting a little bitter now with Horner after this war of words continues. Is it mind games? Is it Toto being frustrated? And is Horner just playing the game in the championship battles? Elsewhere, it's bad news for Williams, as the constructor believes it will start F1's new era in 2022 on the back foot, after lacking the resources to take part in this year's end-of-season test. The other 9 teams are due to be involved in the running in Abu Dhabi in mid-December, when they will use mule cars in tandem with Pirelli's new 18-inch tyres. Now, if you're wondering why this is so important, well, here's why. It mainly helps the teams in attendance gain an early understanding of the tyres that will definitely be used by Pirelli after lengthy evaluation work this year, given the changes in the aerodynamic rules coming into the sport for next season. But Williams are without a mule car ready to go, and although the test is for rookies, head of vehicle performance at the constructor Dave Robson has confirmed the team won't be doing anything. My understanding is that if you don't have the mule car, you are not entitled to do the test, so we won't be there, said Robson. What will we ultimately lose? We start the winter testing a little bit on the back foot probably, but I would hope if the car is running well, then after we've done the tests, we can catch up quickly. We would like to be at the test, but we are not, so I think ultimately we won't be that far behind once the races start. It's just not good news though for Williams, is it? They haven't exactly been lighting the Formula One world alight in the last couple of seasons, and for them to be on the back foot, it's a blow for such a historic constructor in the sport. And finally, F1 has promised fans money will not decide where next year's sprint events will run, with the quality of the racing the primary concern. F1's managing director of motorsports, Ross Brawn, has confirmed there has been overwhelming demand from promoters to host a sprint, with 100% in favour from the 23 record venues for 2022. But while some promoters pay more to stage a Grand Prix in their country, such as Abu Dhabi, that is understood to be paying $40 million for its season-ending event, F1 will not be swayed by whoever can throw the most cash at them for sprint races. In terms of which races we choose, the finances of F1 are always a consideration, said Brawn. They keep the whole show going. As you know, the split in prize money between the teams in F1 means the teams benefit, Formula One benefits, and the promoters benefit. But I don't believe it will be the determining factor in where we have these events. We need the right spread and the right circuits. We need to look at the whole thing from a reasonable distance from where we choose to have these events. So good news then that Formula 1 isn't going to sell its soul just for the dollar for hosting these sprint events, but we know we're going to have more next year, estimated, or it should be around about 6 sprint events next season. Where do you want to see these events take place? Monza didn't set the world alight, Silverstone was exciting, and we have Sao Paulo and Brazil to come in the next few weeks. Let us know in the comments section below all of your thoughts on the war of words between the two championship battling team principals, and where you'd like to see the sprint events being held next season. And of course, hit the subscribe button down below to stay up to date with everything that we do here at GPFans.